Have you ever wondered if there's a place on Earth that holds the entire history of our planet locked away in ice? Well, today we're going on a trip to the very bottom of the world, to Antarctica. We're going to try to understand not just a continent, but the story of our planet's past, its present, and what it might be trying to tell us about our future. Okay, let's get into it. I mean, just look at this place. It's a land of extremes, right? A huge white desert that feels like another planet. But this landscape, which author Tishani Doshi wrote about in her travelogue, holds some really profound lessons about our own existence and the incredibly delicate balance of life on this planet. So, first things first, how in the world do you even get to the end of the Earth? Yeah, it's not exactly a quick weekend getaway. The journey itself is a massive part of the story, making you realize just how isolated and enormous this continent really is. It all kicks off in Madras, India. And from there, it is an absolutely epic trek. We're talking about crossing 9 time zones, 6 different checkpoints, and 3 entire oceans. You are literally moving through different worlds just to reach the bottom of our own. The first part of the journey feels pretty normal, you know? It starts on 4 wheels, rolling through the world we all recognize. And then, of course, you take to the skies, flying over continents and oceans, watching everything familiar just shrink away below. And for the final leg, you board this, the academic Shukalski. It's a Russian research vessel, and it was built specifically to carve its way through the icy waters of the Southern Ocean. This is the ship that takes you completely off the map. So all told, the journey takes over 100 hours. Think about that for a second. That's more than 4 full days of non-stop travel just to set foot on the white continent. And after all that travel, what's the first thing you feel? Just immense, quiet emptiness. An endless white landscape that stretches out to meet this perfectly uninterrupted blue horizon. For anyone coming from our busy, crowded world, the most stunning thing is what's missing. There are no signs of us. No billboards, no buildings, nothing. It's a total visual and mental reset. But what's so fascinating about Antarctica is that it's not just a journey across the globe. It's also a journey back in time. This place is basically a living, breathing geological archive.
Okay, so to really get Antarctica, you have to know about a place called Gondwana. We're talking 650 million years ago, a time when the world map looked totally different. There was this one giant southern supercontinent where South America, Africa, India, Australia, and Antarctica were all mashed together.
And this really puts the scale of that change into perspective. On the left, you've got Gondwana, a world with no humans, where dinosaurs roamed a much, much warmer land. And on the right, well, that's the world we know. When you stand on Antarctica, you're literally standing on a piece of that ancient puzzle. Now, this obviously didn't happen overnight. For hundreds of millions of years, Gondwana was this single massive landmass. But then the Great Separation began. The continents started to drift apart. You had India charging northward, slamming into Asia with so much force that it buckled the Earth's crust and created the Himalayas. And all this time, Antarctica was slowly drifting south, eventually becoming the frozen, isolated continent we see today. But here's the thing. This cold, remote place is not dead, not even close. It is home to this incredibly vibrant and super important ecosystem. And the wild part is, it's all powered by something so small, you can't even see it. It all begins with these little guys, phytoplankton. They are tiny, single-celled plants just floating around in the Southern Ocean. Using photosynthesis, they're basically the grass of the sea, and they form the absolute foundation of all life down here. So here's how it all connects, and this is the crucial part. Check out this food web. The phytoplankton get eaten by krill, these tiny little shrimp-like creatures. And the krill, well, they get eaten by pretty much everything else. We're talking seals, penguins, seabirds, and even the biggest animal on the entire planet, the blue whale. The scale here is it's mind-boggling. A microscopic, single-celled organism is responsible for feeding the entire massive Southern Ocean. And listen to this, phytoplankton globally produce more than half of the oxygen we all breathe. It's just an amazing reminder that sometimes the smallest things in the world are the ones that are actually running the show. So what's the takeaway? Why does a trip to this far-flung corner of the world even matter to us back here? Well, it's because Antarctica isn't just some relic of the past. It's a powerful barometer for our future. I mean, just look at the contrast. On one side, you have the pure, untouched world of Antarctica, and on the other, the world that we've built. Antarctica has no native human population. It exists in this relatively pristine state, which makes it the absolute perfect laboratory to study how we are changing our planet.
And this is the core of it. Literally, trapped deep in Antarctica's ice sheets are tiny bubbles of ancient air. They create this perfect, half-million-year-old carbon record of our atmosphere. These ice cores show us what natural climate cycles look like, and they also show that our carbon levels today are way higher than at any point in that entire history. So it's not a prediction, it's a warning written right there in the ice.
You know, it's the one place on Earth that hasn't really been shaped by us. And yet, it's also the place that shows our impact most clearly. So while our journey might end here, it leaves us all with a pretty critical question. This continent holds our planet's memory. Are we actually willing to listen to what it has to say?